Well, back in the 50s, I guess that's really the start of the muscle car era. You started getting the Corvettes coming out, and guys started looking for performance. Coming through the 60s, I guess after that, well, all that stuff in the 50s was kind of like child's play, and it just progressed. It got a lot faster. They learned a lot of lessons on how to make reliable and better horsepower, and started learning some of the tricks.
Back in the 60s, you know, like the late 60s is when the Mustang and Camaros were, you know, those were all coming out good. So they were all, you know, pretty high horsepower cars and, you know, built for performance, and they weren't too concerned about fuel economy back then, you know.
It even goes back in high school, you know, everybody wanted Mustangs back. I graduated in 1981. A lot of people had Mustangs back then.
Well, if you got to look at the most iconic Camaro, it's definitely have to be the '69 Camaro. You know, most people, that's the holy grail of Camaros, and probably one of the most handsome muscle cars of all time. Hands down, it's the best Camaro ever made, new or old. As far as legendary Camaros go, the best Z28 ever made, of course, also. It's the best Camaro, it's the best Z28. But yeah, they made some pretty big power for a small displacement motor, and high revving, high winded, and nothing beats a '69 Camaro, that's for sure. I had a '69 Mach 1. It was my first car in high school, actually, so I had a grabber blue '69 Mach 1. And one of the car's my all-star tires features quite a bit is a '69 Mach 1 that's grabber blue with a 351 Cleveland. A little bit different, but it sure looks an awful lot like my old car did. Got a shaker hood, got the front chin spoiler, and well, probably the best looking Mustang ever made, at least in my book. But that's a great car, it's a handsome car. I love, you know, the 4 headlights in the grille. And as far as Mustangs, I gotta say that '69 Mach 1, that's my favorite. That's the best looking Mach 1, best looking Mustang in my book.
I originally bought this in 1989. It was, that was back in the day when Auto Week would come out on Mondays. So I saw a little classified ad in there, and I called the guy that night, about 9 o'clock his time, and asked if the car was still available, and he said yeah. So I think it was like $12,500 at the time.
I purchased it from a person over in Anaheim in 1999. So it took us like 17 years to get it looking pretty close to where it is right now.
Well, a lot of the old stuff that we see here that comes into the shop, they've always got old fluids in them, got a lot of rust on them, old everything, all the rubber's disintegrated. It's always in bad shape, all this stuff. You come across mice, pack rats that fill interiors and engine compartments full of cactus.
I stripped it. We took the motor out, we took the transmission out, I took the whole interior out. We took my sons, I've got 3 sons, and they helped with it. We stripped the whole inside of the engine compartment down to the bare metal. We primed it, finished it off, and took care of rewired it. And about that time is when we found the motor. I found a motor through one of the friends at work that had a 351 Cleveland out of a wrecked Ranchero.
It was originally orange with white stripes, you know, from when I bought it from the guy. And after I got it home, I checked the numbers out a little further, and I found out it was a orange with black stripe original car with a black vinyl top. So the paint, you know, needed a little help here and there, and next thing you know, I got the whole thing taken apart in my garage. My wife was ready to kill me because she wanted a new kitchen. And we had the thing all torn apart, and over the next couple years did a frame-off restoration. Had to replace the left quarter on it, pulled the motor, and had it all lined, board, and balanced. You know, just went completely through it, frame off. And it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, too, at the same time. I like the look of the tire because it's got the street radial, you know, performance and look, and I like the raised white letters because that's what they had, you know, back in the day. First pass, I like the tire. I like the tread design on it. I like the side profile on it, and I think we're going to find out pretty quick here how they ride.
I think there's no better choice than to get an old car over a new car. I just like the sounds, the feel, the smell, the looks, everything about it. You can't build that into a new car anymore. That car's not 50 years old yet. It doesn't have quite the personality as that 50-year-old car does.